The internet has exploded again, and this time, it's not because of a new court case or another interview. It's because of Amber Heard's secret reaction to Johnny Depp's unexpected comeback. For months, fans had wondered how Amber would respond if Johnny ever returned to the spotlight. After years of silence and separation from Hollywood's glare, his reappearance stunned the world. But what no one expected was the way Amber allegedly responded behind the scenes and how her reaction quietly made its way online, setting social media on fire. It started when Johnny Depp made his big return through a European film project that seemed worlds away from the chaos of the courtroom. After years of tension, canceled contracts, and endless public debate, Depp was finally back on set, smiling, performing, and doing what he loved most. For many fans, it was the redemption they'd been waiting for. For others, it was controversial. But one person's silence stood out among all the noise: Amber Heard's. The internet waited. Days passed, weeks, and then suddenly a strange ripple appeared. Reports began surfacing from entertainment insiders that Amber had reacted in private to Depp's comeback announcement. According to one insider, Amber was taken aback by how fast the public had embraced him again. The same source claimed that Amber had been trying to keep a low profile in Spain, raising her daughter away from Hollywood scrutiny. But even from a distance, she couldn't escape the tidal wave of attention that came with Johnny's resurgence. It was as if every news outlet, every social feed, and every late-night segment had resurrected their story. And the irony? She wasn't even involved this time. One entertainment journalist revealed that Amber's close circle had noticed a sudden shift in her mood after Depp's Cannes appearance last year. That was when his film Jean du Barry premiered, marking his official comeback. Cameras captured Depp receiving a 7-minute standing ovation. The crowd cheered as he teared up, a powerful image that spread like wildfire across the internet. While millions saw it as the ultimate redemption moment, sources say Amber didn't take it the same way. Privately, she was said to be conflicted, not because she wanted to attack him again, but because the narrative had completely flipped. During the height of their trial, Amber had been one of the most talked about people in the world. But after losing much of her public support, she quietly disappeared. Relocating to Madrid, she began living under a new rhythm, far from flashing cameras. Paparazzi sightings became rare. Interviews were non-existent. So when Johnny's face suddenly started reappearing everywhere, on posters, red carpets, and interviews, it stirred something deep. Not anger, necessarily. More like disbelief. The man who was once declared unemployable by Hollywood was suddenly being celebrated again. Social media made things worse. Fans flooded her older posts with comments about Johnny's return. Memes, videos, edits, all reignited the old drama. Some users even claimed to have spotted subtle likes or activity from Amber's old fan accounts in response to the news, though nothing was confirmed. What was confirmed, however, was a sudden increase in public appearances from Amber herself. For the first time in months, she stepped out for local film events in Spain. She smiled for cameras again. Some interpreted it as her trying to move on, while others thought it was her quiet way of saying, "I'm still here." Then came the viral clip. A fan video began circulating on TikTok, claiming to show Amber's unfiltered reaction after being asked about Johnny's comeback at a Spanish film festival. The clip was short, only about 8 seconds, but it was enough to explode online. The interviewer casually mentioned Depp's name, and Amber, caught off guard, gave a half smile, a brief pause, and said, "I wish him well." That's it. But the internet didn't need more than that. Within hours, "I wish him well" was trending. People dissected every second of her tone, her facial expression, her body language. Was it sarcasm? Was it genuine? No one could agree. But one thing was clear: the reaction went viral. What made it even more fascinating was how differently people interpreted it. Some saw maturity, saying Amber was finally letting go of the past and wishing her ex peace. Others saw bitterness hiding behind restraint, pointing out her tight smile and careful phrasing. And then there were those who argued that the entire clip was misrepresented, that it was taken out of context from a longer interview where she spoke about moving on with her life. But as always, nuance didn't matter online. The clip became fuel for another round of debates, memes, and reaction videos. Meanwhile, Johnny Depp remained calm and mostly silent about it all. His focus seemed entirely on his music and art projects. He was touring with his band again, working on independent films, and even hinting at directing another project. The difference in tone between him and Amber couldn't be more striking. While Amber was still battling the internet's divided perception of her, Johnny appeared serene, focused, and determined to move forward. That contrast became another talking point. Was Johnny winning not just in Hollywood but in the public narrative too? Entertainment outlets jumped on the trend immediately. Headlines like Amber Heard breaks silence on Depp comeback and Amber's awkward reaction to Johnny's success spread like wildfire. Every entertainment YouTuber, podcast, and gossip channel had an opinion. Some painted her as bitter, others as brave. But beneath the noise, one thing became evident. People were still obsessed with this story. Years later, the Depp-Heard saga still had a grip on the public psyche, and every small development reignited the flames. Behind the scenes, several reports claimed Amber wasn't happy with how her brief statement was portrayed. According to one insider quoted by a European magazine, Amber felt the media twisted her words for headlines again. She allegedly told a friend that she had no reason to comment on Johnny's life anymore and was simply trying to focus on her own projects. Yet, no matter what she did or didn't do, it somehow always circled back to him. That ongoing link between them had become almost inescapable. Interestingly, while the media focused on her reaction, Depp's fans seemed more united than ever. Online communities that once defended him during the trial resurfaced with a renewed sense of pride. They shared edits celebrating his comeback, tributes to his resilience, and messages thanking him for proving everyone wrong. The same internet that once tore him apart now seemed to be lifting him higher. It was a complete reversal of fortune. And while Johnny stayed out of online drama, his quiet demeanor seemed to amplify his credibility even more. But was Amber's reaction really as secret as it sounded? Some close observers believe the term secret simply referred to her emotional response, something she didn't express publicly, but which leaked through those closest to her. A Spanish journalist who had interviewed her last year hinted that Amber was aware of Depp's progress and felt mixed emotions. According to him, she wasn't angry anymore but still found it difficult to see his success constantly in the headlines. After all, his comeback represented not just a career revival, but also a shift in public loyalty, a painful reminder of how dramatically things had changed. The irony in all of this is that both of them seem to be trying to move forward in their own ways, yet the world refuses to let them. Johnny's comeback was supposed to mark the end of an era, the start of a fresh chapter. But with Amber's reaction going viral, the old narrative was revived once more. For Hollywood, it's an ongoing soap opera that never truly ends. For the internet, it's content gold. For the people involved, though, it's likely exhausting. What makes this story so captivating is how it reflects the power of perception. One small comment, "I wish him well," was enough to dominate the headlines for days. It didn't matter what she truly meant. What mattered was how people chose to interpret it. And in the age of social media, interpretation often matters more than truth. As the story evolved, analysts pointed out something deeper. The Depp-Heard saga wasn't just about two actors anymore. It had become a cultural mirror, reflecting how society picks sides, builds heroes, and cancels villains. Johnny's redemption arc was cheered like a victory movie ending, while Amber's attempt to rebuild her life became the quiet subplot few wanted to see. Her reaction, genuine or not, symbolized that tension perfectly, a single sentence weighed down by years of public judgment. Still, despite the viral buzz, Amber didn't release any official statements, no interviews, no social media clarifications. That silence in itself spoke volumes. Some interpreted it as her way of reclaiming control, refusing to be dragged back into the same circus. Others thought it showed discomfort, maybe even regret. Whatever the case, her quietness only made the speculation louder. As for Johnny, sources close to his circle say he's finally in a place of peace. His projects are flourishing again, fans are supportive, and he's focusing on creativity instead of controversy. When asked about Amber or the past, he reportedly gives the same calm answer every time: that chapter is closed. But if the viral reaction proves anything, it's that the world isn't ready to close it just yet. The story keeps evolving. Rumors are now circulating that both are being approached by documentary producers for separate projects covering the aftermath of their public trial. Whether they'll agree or not is uncertain, but one thing's clear: people can't seem to stop watching their intertwined fates. It's almost as if every time one of them tries to move forward, the other's shadow inevitably follows. Amber's secret reaction, as small as it might have seemed, became another symbol in a long, complicated saga. It showed that even years after the court battles ended, emotions, perceptions, and narratives continue to shift. Her simple words reminded everyone that time might heal, but the internet never forgets. And as Johnny continues to rebuild his career, one headline, one photo, or one expression from Amber can still reignite a story the world claims to be done with. but never really is. In the end, this entire episode isn't about sides anymore. It's about how fame, scandal, and storytelling collide in the digital age. Johnny Depp's comeback was inevitable given his talent and fan loyalty. But Amber Heard's reaction, subtle, viral, and endlessly debated, shows that their story isn't confined to Hollywood anymore. It's a global narrative shaped by millions of opinions, where truth is constantly filtered through emotion. Whether Amber truly meant her words or not may never matter. What matters is how the world chose to see them. And maybe that's the real lesson behind the viral moment. Sometimes silence isn't peace, it's just the calm before the next storm.